Yo ho ho! Oh, looks like Christmas is coming early for some of us. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Welcome back. It is December 2nd, 2025. It's about 10:45 in the morning. I figured I would jump on here for a update. I was really thinking about it yesterday after I recorded this video, and I was looking at the charts, and there is something that I wanted to bring up. And lo and behold, we got this really bananas move that's happening on the charts. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to dive in here as a quick update. Now, I mentioned before that that I have a target down here. Okay, now the one thing that I'm looking for this candle to be taken out. You can go back and look at the other video if you'd like. I'm going to try to keep this really quick. But one thing that I said was that this is the range that we're in right over here. This is the range that I would be looking at, right? And if this is the range, it's going to bounce up and down around here. Now, the one thing that I want to put in mind is this. While I look down below, here for a target, right? This was the target to kind of take out this candle and whatever is going on over here. We did take this big drop, right? But here's the thing, right? Remember I said that if we are going down and there's going to be a change of direction, there is going to be this range that kind of like builds out. And inside a range, a channel that's going down, if I were to pull this like so, you will see that we are still in the range. This bounce here is very, very significant that we had. Okay. This was an area that I should have mentioned yesterday that I overlooked. Okay. So because we were talking about break of structure and everything like that. Here's the thing. There is a order block right over here. You see this cluster of candles? Well, if you notice, if I were to pull this out like this, and I did have it marked up, this wick came and basically uh, mitigated this order block right here. And the reaction that it's having is quite substantial. This is a pretty bullish move right here. Now, things can pump and dump left and right. So if I were to scroll over to the left here, you could see, like, here's an example of a pump and dump. So here was an area that it needed to break. It went down, it came back up, grabbed the top just like so, and then it went back down and it started to basically range over here. If I were to call this out as the range, you could see how this really kind of played out, just like so. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for over there, but I'm actually looking for this to happen way back over here. But it doesn't have to. Okay, so that's one thing that that I need to make sure that we understand is that it doesn't really have to come back over here. It doesn't. This wick that was created, it should really come back down over here and kind of test this or not. But if we are really shifting, if we are shifting into this range that's over here, then we really need to be hyper focused on setting this up. So first of all, this is the break of structure right here. And what I'd like to do is I would like to now make a quick little range over here so we can pay attention to if we have actually built some strength and it is long time, right? So I'm going to just block out some of these zones. So let me pull this up right over here so we get the middle. Right over here, this is the middle of the range right there. And if you notice, this break of structure is kind of in the golden pocket. So let me just mark this out just like so. There we go there. Okay. Let me reverse this down to the bottom just like so. Oh gosh, I hate when I do that. Okay, we don't need this no more. We don't need that no more. Okay, so this is kind of the range that we're in. This is the range. I'm going to pull this out down below over here, and then we've got this red line that we made right up here that is still relevant. In fact, I will pull it up a little bit more, and this is kind of like where we need to go. So now this is a pretty crazy mess, right? If you see it. So let me change the colors here. We're going to make this. No, this is going to be the range low. Okay. And let's make this one's supposed to be red. Let's make that red to match everything else that's there. This is the 50% line. So we'll say this is a 50% line right here. Okay. What happened there? Okay, cool. So, and this is the range high. Okay. That's the range high. So this is kind of where we are right now. This is it. Let me pull this out. This gets a little bit. This break of structure, I will slide this up a little bit because that still is relevant over here. This is that golden pocket, and it looks like it actually broke above that. So yeah, Okay, so here's some confluence, or however they say it. I don't know, whatever. Look, see this line right here? This was resistance. We are now in the channel. We are actually heading to the middle of the channel, right over here. This is the middle of the channel. So this might be resistance area, which is the range high, and here's the range low. Could we bounce around in this section? Yeah. But at this point, I'm telling you, now's the time for us to start really being focused on whether we are starting to change on Bitcoin altogether. Now, could this be a pump and dump back down to the bottom? Yeah, it could. And it could definitely kind of come over here, range a little bit, spike down, go like this, and go up. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for that. Is this a stretch? Maybe this is a stretch. Maybe. Okay, but if this is the candle that I'm targeting, I will be focused at the bottom of this of the range low, right? That's what I'm focused on. But at this point, we also need to be aware of this. If we break this structure over here and we break up and we grab on, we could be heading over to this section right over here. Breaking this, knocking that guy out, and going over here to knock this guy out. So I feel if we do break this range high, right, we will be running up. So what are we looking for now? So what's the plan? Well, I've got a plan over here for a long, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pay attention to this section right over here. Okay, we need to pay attention to this section, because if this pump ends up coming back over here and finding some strength along the way, maybe this is really the area for the long. Okay, as far as the shorts go, I'm not ready for them. I got enough. I'm done with that for now. What I am looking for is I'm looking for a long. Now, I am only saying this because this candle that dropped down was pretty significant, but this right here was a pretty hardcore strength, and we are starting the month. So it could be that we, this was kind of the fake out down, right? And it looks like we've got quite a bit of strength that's happening right now. But again, this could be a pump and dump. So what I'm looking for is I am paying attention to this right here. I'm also paying attention to this right over here. And then, we move on from there. Look, it could come over here and take out everybody on this side and kind of wipe this guy out right here. But the key is that it has to come above and then come revisit somewhere, either here or right over here. Okay, so now we just need to be patient and wait. Now, if you are feeling a sense of FOMO, right, and you think that we are going to go up, then the best thing for you to do is probably to start tacking on for spot. Okay, because if we get this move up, this is a pretty significant move up. You can take profit right over here, and spot, if it does come down, then you can also DCA. You can DCA over into this area. I mean, however you want to play it, right? But yeah, this is starting to feel a little bit more like something's happening. This feels like a change of character. Okay, this section is starting to feel like a change of character right over here. A choach. Anyway, I thought I would let you know that. I'll jump over into Ethereum real quick, which is, again, following the same exact flow. But if you notice, like, here's the true area. This line needs to be broken. Okay, so it can come up here, pop up, and then go down. It can do that. Okay, this is not like all hands on deck. Let's throw everything at here. No, what I'm noticing is that there is a shift. Something is happening in these charts. Even if it's a pump and dump right now and it drops down lower, there is a change of character going on here. This is the battle zone. So if that's so, we can't get stuck on stupid and be like, no, we're going to zero. Again, this is still in play. This is the new one that's in play. This is possibly the new one that's in play, but this is the range that we're in. And until we break above or we break below, then we can see exactly what's happening. It has to come back and retest, okay? So now's the time to pay attention. Keep your bias on neutral right now and figure out if we might need to shift our seat a little bit. And that's all I got to say. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.